Hi, my friends. It's always interesting for me to do videos when I'm like kind of set up because I'm at an angle. So maybe I'll just go this way for now and then I'll bump the microphone. I'm bumping the microphone. I'll go this way for now and I'll shift it back the other way. We're about to dive into episode 18 of My Hero Academia. For those of you who are on YouTube, it's been a couple weeks since a video. For a couple reasons, I had a family emergency that pretty much took up time, and because of hospital laziness and incompetence, that emergency got extended for this family member of mine. I'm very irritated over that. So, hospitals, more often than not, and depending on where you are, really don't care. Anyway, that's being worked through right now. There's still, we're not out of the woods yet, and there's still the aftermath to deal with and other things, but it's like, okay, at least we're making some progress, and at least some of the side effects of the loading dose of medicine that they decided to send him home under is starting to pull back, and basically they're actually doing their job. Isn't it great? Anyway, lots of frustration. Also, Thanksgiving, we celebrated on Sunday because my brother was gonna be away for that week, and so that's why also part of the reason there's no video. And anyway, we are about to dive into, and also again, Patreon gets a video a week early, so they need to get the video before you guys do on YouTube. Sorry, but if you want to get the video a week early, you can sign up for Patreon. There's 3 tiers. You only have to sign up for the bottom tier if you want the videos early, but if you want to be a little more generous, or you want access to some other things that as things move forward, there'll be more of, you can sign up for the second tier route. Anyway, just want to throw that out there. I am very excited for this episode. We have this nut job who has a vendetta against Endeavor, and we're going to see how Endeavor reacts when he's got a kid on the line. And because his other 2 kids had no plans to be a hero, I don't think he really pushed that into them. One's a teacher, which I think is very fitting and kind of cute that the daughter's a teacher. And then the other son is a student, so again, doesn't have his provisional license, has no interest in being basically as a hero. Can you guys let me know if in the manga, if you're going to become a hero, you go straight into as a hero in high school, or can you go to get your bachelor's and other degrees first, or in addition to that? I know in some cases for police officers, I think you can go into the academy, but you have to have I think an associate's in order to do that. You have to have some level of schooling to be a police officer, in addition to the training. But if you also want to move up higher in the ranks, you have to have additional schooling like bachelor's and a master's, for you to be able to move up higher. And as a police officer, I think at least now, there's still a lot that I need to remember. So you have to be a certain level of education for that. Let me know if it's true also of heroes, or if you can just become a hero straight out of high school and you don't have to, there is no additional schooling. So it's either a student or a hero kind of thing. Just let me know if that's in the manga. I don't think that's really spoilery. Anyway, for those of you who are like, hey, what's that sound in the background? My room has no working heat, so I bought myself a new space heater. I'll add focus. Those of you who are like, hey, what's that sound in the background? I bought myself a new space heater because my room has no working heat. And apparently my camera's like, I'm going to go out of focus a lot. Prepare for that because you're so pale. I feel pale. Anyway, also I'm not in the middle and I'm not close to the camera. Anyway, so that's what that sound is. I will be turning it off for the reaction, so it's not playing in the background, but my room got a little cold because I had it turned off for my previous recording. And like I said, I have no working heat, so it's a new space heater. I'm very excited for it. I can actually control the temperature, how long it goes, so that way my room actually is sufficiently heated and I don't overdo it. No, I don't have a heater running all the time. So I can turn it off and adjust it, and that's really nice. Is there anything else to add? I'm just really excited. We got a little bit of taste of what Toya looked like when he was little. He actually had white hair. I thought he had red. Because I swear, I remember in a flashback scene, there was a little red head playing in the courtyard. So, I don't know if Toya dyed his hair, bleached his hair, because it was red. And he bleached his hair blonde like his mom, because he hated his dad so much. Of course, people are like, yo, Dobby's Toya. So, I don't know. Until I see it on camera. Whatever. People have also complained about this arc. It's still okay, but as far as My Hero Academia goes, it's not their best. They've cut out apparently a lot out of this arc, and I think it makes sense because before I dove into this arc, people were putting comparison still shots of the anime and what was going on in the manga. And what was being said in the manga was a lot more information than what was going on in the anime. And I'm sure it's happened before, but apparently this arc has been really reduced down a lot compared to the manga. So that, in addition to all the flashbacks last arc to kind of like extend the arc, the way they're shifting things around, it understands why people are just like a little huffy over the whole thing. Like, what? It's for My Hero Academia. This seems like they're not really putting their best foot forward. Let me know if there's been any BTS videos or anything like that that explains why they made the choice they made to do this to the manga, to really like to shift arcs, to cut things out. Because again, when it's a lot of manga in the past, when they've been on manga and anime comparisons, for the most part, it's been pretty spot on, neck and neck, very similar. So it was interesting for me to see how much they took out for the manga. I mean, for the anime compared to the manga. I was like, whoa, it's like, I don't know what scene it was or where it's going to be in the anime, but basically one of the characters had like this much information coming out of her mouth, and the anime, it was like that much. So it was like, whoa, it's night and day. So I can understand why people are really frustrated with this particular season of My Hero, because it's fun, it's good, but for My Hero, it's not its best work. Anyway, is there anything else to add? No, if you're watching on YouTube, there is no sound, partial image, keeps the copyright monsters mostly at bay, especially if most of the season's done. Anything else to add? No, without further ado, let's dive right in. For Yumi. Sorry. Natsu. Natsu. Yeah, I mean, the entire first part of this episode before the intro was previous footage. Usually My Hero does a little bit of that, and then they'll go into that, but that was a lot. So, yeah. Complaints are understandable this season. This intro is fire, though. Sorry, I kind of got up, made breakfast, and went right into reacting. I'm loving these new villains. I'm really excited to see what they can do. And it's crazy, kind of like the Harry Potter movies. We started so light and kind of fun. We still have light fun moments, but we're getting into some really serious stuff moving on. I mean, we did in the past, so we got into some really serious stuff for this anime, but again, with All Might gone, the stakes have been raised a lot. Several years ago. So again, that's how upset he was. That's how, you know, that's how obsessed and upset he was about being number one. A man filled with anger. Look at his mouth, anger. So he's never really encountered ever. He's just been obsessed with him this whole time. Oh. So what, he's gonna end his life and he caught him? Oh. So I guess his crimes were minor enough that he was let go. Isn't it irritating and awful when you hear those stories, like what recently happened in, I guess, Waukesha? I think the person who was, oh, shoot! He wants to die. He wants to commit suicide by hero. He's really messed up. Unforgiven. You hear the stories of people who are like, they were killed by somebody who should have been in jail, who was released for this or that, and just like, why was he released for those really, really violent crimes? Or it's very irritating to see like so-and-so got released after so many years and they went on and did evil things. Like, what the frick? Mm. 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 Pretty girl's holding his hand. He's like, okay. Hmm. So he's going back to his dorm, I guess, or to where he's staying. That's bad. Wow. Mm. I like him. Sounds. Sounds is an old English word. Oh, that's bad. Ooh. That man's a good driver. No. Oh, he does. Oh, interesting. These are the kind of crazies who like go on to like kill people like John Lennon, and oh, I'm blanking on her name, Christina or something. Dang it, they're just out of their minds. He's out of his gosh darn mind. He's dried and kind of cracked and messed up, kind of like a mummy. No, you're alive. You're just nuts. Cool. Oh wow. Ooh, I kind of love seeing Shoto mad. It's kind of cool to see. Pausing. I really do wish I could watch this on Crunchyroll, but they updated their software blocking stuff, so now whenever I try to record it all I can see is the subtitles on. I can watch it and be fine, but the thing that's recorded is just the subtitles of the black screen, which is very irritating. So I have to watch it somewhere else. Anyway, that causes some syncing issues, so I do apologize. That there's probably always going to be some syncing issues. If they're really, really bad, I usually try to re-record it, but so far they've been only marginally meh, so I don't. But yeah, this guy's out of his frippin' mind. Um, he wants to die by Endeavor's hands. Now, usually I would say, oh, this is kind of a separate thing. He just, he's a nut job. But I was like, why was he released? If he went to go on a rampage and went to kill people, why would they release this clearly crazy dude? And then he talks asleep. And then it occurred to me, well, we're reaching this point now where everything is connected. It's not just like this is running parallel to this. So they're similar, kind of like with Hero Killer and the League of Villains. What he was doing was separate from the League of Villains attack with the Nomus. They weren't in cohorts together. No, they weren't. They were just running at the same parallel at the same time. This, however, because of how everything's connected, how we've learned that they are even heroes, supposed heroes, involved in this liberation ideology. And there's probably even higher ups. This guy being released, who is obsessed over Endeavor, definitely is part of someone's plan. I don't know whose, though. But also, how did he know where Endeavor lived? He went to Endeavor's house and followed Natsu to wherever he's living as a student. That's close enough to the house to walk, but far enough away that he can have his own space. Because like he was walking out to some sort of house or dorm. So somebody gave him Endeavor's address. And somebody told him probably where Natsu lived in case he couldn't follow him all the way. And then somebody also probably knew that he was going to have the kids with him and that they were going to be, or maybe that's a different variable. Oh no, they would have known, but again, because they don't think they're very competent, they wouldn't think the kids were much of a threat. So, they're trying to, this is all part of a plan. This guy's being used, he's eventually being used as a puppet like the Nomus. So, he is being a willing puppet probably, being used by the Liberation Army ideology to mess with Endeavor. Either make him kill, or have his son be killed, or whatever it might be. So, this is all part of a plan. This is not just some guy. I was like, why was he being freaking released? Like, it doesn't make sense. Now I get it. I see what's going on here. But the three boys are there. So, I'm excited for how this is going to turn out. But I like how Katja was like, give me the recipe for that food. Like, he's always so intense. Even when he's being nice. So Natsuo is his full name. In an instant. Focus your power precisely. Nice. He's terrified. Come on, man, you gotta move. In a weird moment, Endeavor freezes. And of course it has to do with his son being involved. Release. Ooh, that voice. Whoa. This guy's nasty. Condense. Yes! There we go. No, more people won't. Oh, look at that. Boom! So cool. No more will die, not on our watch. He's blown away. Yes, that's what I was hoping, that Katrin would, like, condense it enough that it would be a steady flame. With the short shot. That was good and impressive. He would throw it. his eyes. You idiot. Old man smell. Get off. Dude's nut. Becca. Maybe them in the cars, they're fine. Shut it. Now is not the time, you prick! He's like terrified and trying to take. He's holding his son. Still a long way to go. Ah, yes, ghost kill toys. I like how we added all of like the people like, what are you doing in the middle of the street? We have places to go. You're holding traffic up. Mm. 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 She does. Which will be good for her, because then she can move on and heal and move forward with stuff and have her own family. That kind of. I'm trying to. I do love his little elements, because you. Like after this big fight, we're having this emotional, heartfelt thing in the middle of the street, and people are like honking, like, move! He wants that angry, mean man. Endeavor's changing. He isn't that arrogant prick. Hmm. Oh, they have to put the cones up to deal with the traffic and the other issues. Also, the fact that the guy stole the traffic lines. I kind of like him. He has a white beard. Is he dyeing his hair? You're wrong. You can't. I'm not telling you either. Who's gonna tell first? I like how Shoto is so sweet and kind. He's like, oh yeah, the sneezing thing. This whole thing of sneezing when people are talking about you just really amuses me. That was a great episode, except for like all those kind of previous episode footage before the intro, which they're doing a lot more of, and then doing new footage after it, and a little bit of the footage they used from the previous episode when they let him go. This was a lot of it was new information. It was like action packed and fun and intense, and we got to see the boys like be awesome and emotional right there at the end. So it was filled with both action and emotional resonance, which is my favorite My Hero Academia episode. It's so good, so good. This was a great episode. I absolutely adored it. It was fun. The boys really took to heart what they were learning. I was hoping that he would use that bright flame, because if he was doing his pop, 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 he wouldn't have gotten to Natsu on time. Got it. Got Natsu. Protected him. Landed right. Didn't bother or interrupt the train. That's great. Deku really focused on kind of... Now he's up, now he's free falling, and really focusing on grabbing the cars and gently putting them down and then landing himself. Because it could show so much of how much kind of, ooh, after credits. Mm. Are you okay? Not so. A new house, not interesting. Is he gonna separate himself from his family? Again, that flashback there. So he's gonna separate himself from his family. He's gonna give them a new house without the bad memories, without all of that. And he's gonna stay there while they live at that new house. I don't think that's quite what Fumi wants. Third term. It'd be nice to get back with the others, yeah. Ooh. I never seen President Mike so, like, upset and intense. Oh. Stop the tragic stuff. Jeez Louise. Alright, let's talk about this, shall we? So it is interesting, like, that's the choice, and he has the money for it. That's the choice that he's made, where his family will get their own home free from bad memories, from like that happening there, this happening there, and they'll get a new house where they can, like, you know, the mom's good enough that she can be discharged, that she's okay, that she'll be able to kind of, you know, be with her kids. But also with Endeavor separating himself from his family, he's like, you're not going to have to worry about my presence being there to interrupt you guys. So it is interesting to, I know, the whole, hi baby. She's so sleepy in the afternoon. But the boys did such a great job saving Natsu. Again, like I said, it was filled with action and emotional resonance. And it was a solid episode. Except for the plethora of kind of previous episode footage before the intro, it was really good. And again, we got that kind of, except for a little bit of outside the prison, I'm like, why do they keep showing that? But this isn't something where he's just, I mean, look at this guy. He's out of his gosh darn mind. No way should someone actually, should he be released? No, unfortunately, people are released who are incredibly violent criminals, who are crazy, and they are released for space sake, or for this sake, or for this sake. And what happens? They go on and commit a violent crime within less than a week of them being out. Because a lot of criminals aren't just people who, like, commit minor crimes, like stealing or stuff like that, and then they try to make better of themselves. There's a lot of criminals that are just very evil people. And like I said, that recent of the guy who, here in the States, he drove through the parade people and killed 5 people. At least I think it's 5 still. I don't know if it's more or less. I can't remember as of right now. But you look in kind of his back and you're like, why was he released? I don't know why. But I know in this case, you know, I don't know what nutjob decided it was a good idea to let him out. What moron. But same thing with this case, kind of like, who would let him out? Like, he's clearly crazy and upset and would clearly go on to commit more violent crimes. But, like I said, unlike the previous seasons, the first few seasons where everything was in parallel, where this was happening at the same time as this, but it wasn't necessarily connected. In this case, like I said before, with the Nomu taxa happening at the same time as our hero killer doing his thing, that was just happenstance. It wasn't choreographed. I don't think so. I can't remember. Because he didn't want anything to do with them, I think. What happened here is, I think it's all connected now. The fact that he was let out when he's clearly crazy and clearly very violent. That he knew where Endeavor lived. Because I guess Endeavor captured him shortly after, but somehow he found out where Endeavor lived. Followed Natsu and knew where they were going to be when he took the boys back to school. So he knew all of that. So someone was giving him information. So this was a choreographed, planned attack on Endeavor. I think that's the same reason why the other guy was sent out. I think he was empowered by the villains to go out and do terrible things. And so that's why we're seeing all these really intense, kind of powerful villains going out and doing their thing in Endeavor's district, going after him. And so, yeah, that was planned and choreographed. So it's really... And they did say after All Might retired, the crime went up. And you know, Endeavor's doing a really great job, and he's stopping things from, you know, the hit and run individuals to what could have been a major accident with the man hitting the woman. And as we saw when he was apologizing, he wasn't trying to hit her. He was distracted or whatever. He let himself not do his job. So, you know, he's making sure his area is safe from potential accidents, true accidents, to actual villain work. But yeah, I'm interested to see kind of the aftermath if we're gonna kind of figure out, like, oh no, this is connected. And I never seen President Mike. I never seen Endeavor terrified like that. I never seen President Mike terrified, as we see in the preview for the next episode. But the boys did a really good job taking the really good advice that Endeavor gave them to heart, and no one died. No one got hurt. There were no major accidents, no destroyed cars. His car got banged up. No destroyed cars, no derailed trains. So it was great. It was a lot like when Bakugo did his student exam against Class 1B, where they kind of stopped the villains like that. They captured everybody. And any major damage caused was by them, not by Bakugo and his group. It was caused by the villains. So we got to see a taste of that this last arc, and now we're seeing it really in play, with them taking also the advice. Oh, sorry, the advice from Endeavor to heart as well. Oh, sorry. Anything else to say? But yeah, I guess, with him having the money, he wants to give them a new house. And he goes, the right thing to do is to have me separate from all of you. Now, I guess the hope is that's not going to be like that forever. That eventually it'll reach a point that they can be all in the same house. But part of me is like, oh, no, they should be all together. But I also think, no, actually, this is kind of a good thing. Because sometimes... I remember I was listening to, this was years ago, I was watching a story of a young woman and the things that she was going through. And she was trying her best to forgive her dad. And so she was trying to spend time with him. But she realized, now in that case, he wasn't really changing. He was the same person. But she realized, no, I can't be around him. I can learn to forgive him if he apologized. And I think he did. Maybe not, I can't remember. But she kind of realized the best thing for me in this relationship is to not be around him. And unfortunately, there are people who are just terrible parents. They're awful. Maybe they were okay at one time, but maybe they've devolved into something awful now. Again, keep in mind, we as human beings, we're sinners. We're going to do terrible things. And unfortunately, that also means doing terrible things to our spouses, to each other, and to our children, as we see with Endeavor's case. But he's right. He has to do his best to make things right. And for his family to be able to move on, he needs to give them someplace new for them to be, where they're not filled with bad memories, where they can start new good memories, and for him, separate from him. And since his whole life has been about the perfect mix of a child and creating a family just for that reason, that's also kind of, as someone who's trying to make things right with his family, for him, in his mind, for him to atone, he has to be separate from them and not really get to see what really happens. Now, he also mentioned, like I said, Deku said that they would find out about what happened after Todoroki, after the fact, after there was, a new house, moving and all of that. Because they've only seen his house once, then maybe they'll see it again and be like, oh, this is a different house. And I guess because now they'll be working together. So the question is, well, Shoto lives at the school all year round. So would he ever willingly live with Endeavor, or would he move in with his sibling? I think he would move in with his mom. But right now he has to stay at the school, just like Deku has to stay at school away from his mom, who I'm sure his mom's like, this is her son a lot. My dog is playing with her ear. You can't see it. Anyway, anything else to add? No, like I said, except for the little bit of flashbacks in the beginning. It was a really solid episode. Action-packed, emotional resonance. A little bit of humor with the people in the traffic going, what is going on? And a taste of kind of what the villains are doing, kind of. Because we got a little bit more of a taste of the plot with Hawk's last episode. I'm so sorry. And then kind of the aftermath of last episode, and kind of like, oh, no, there are these purposeful planned attacks going on. And then we go into, what's the word I'm looking for? We go into the just into the plot. Again, sorry, I fell off my train of thought. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies. Again, something I mentioned on my Mob Psycho reaction is that I'm trying to figure out what anime to do next after I finish Mob Psycho 100 and My Hero Academia Season 5. One dog year. So right now, the two front runners, based upon the poll that I did on Patreon, and based upon actually asking some coworkers, the two front runners are Demon Slayer and Haikyuu, with Demon Slayer kind of taking the lead. But I will, in the end, when I get closer to the end of these reactions, of these particular two seasons of series I'm doing right now, I'll look at the votes on Patreon, as well as I'll look at the comments. Until I get a certain amount of subscribers, I don't have a community page yet, so I can't poll on YouTube yet. But I'm hoping to kind of build the channel back up as quickly as possible. Still a slow process, but it's a lot quicker than it was before. Because I think it was just a couple hundred people shy of 6,000, which is very small, but, you know, pretty cool. So I would like to be able to ramp back up and get the community page back up. I think it comes up around 1,000 subscribers, which would be really cool. Or 500, I can't remember which one's first. But, like I said, right now the front runners are Demon Slayer and Haikyuu. The others were JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Gintama, but someone said I needed to watch another anime first because Gintama was a parody of that anime, so I'm probably going to hold off on Gintama until I watch that anime so I can get all the references. So I guess, like I said, the top three really, and I would like to do JoJo's. All these animes I'm going to do eventually, but it's kind of like what's next. And right now, the two front runners to what being next will be either Demon Slayer or Haikyuu. So again, leave your comment, let me know what I should do next. Playing with a dog ear. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and I'll see you next time.